Someone sends you a Telegram proxy and it's just a wall of text, server, port, a long string, and you don't know what to do with it. Or you've got a working proxy and you need to hand it to a friend who's blocked, but you share it wrong and it doesn't open. Or worse, it leaks and the endpoint burns. A proxy link is simple once you can read it. This video breaks down the exact format, how to build one by hand, how to import one, and how to share it without killing it. I run managed Telegram hosting and proxy infrastructure on dedicated hardware in Singapore, so I hand out and read these links constantly. Knowing the anatomy means you're never stuck staring at raw credentials again, and you can fix a broken link instead of giving up on it. Start with the two link types, because the format depends on which proxy it is. An mtproto proxy and a SOCKS 5 proxy each have their own link shape, and they both come in two flavors, a tg:// version that opens the app directly, and a t.me version that's a normal web link. Let me give you all of them clearly. The list in app form reads tg:// proxy, then a question mark, then three parameters joined by ampersand. Parameter 1, server equals the host, either an IP address or a domain. Parameter 2, port equals the port, almost always 443. Parameter 3, secret equals a long hex string. So spelled out is tg:// proxy question mark, server equals the host ampersand port equals 443, ampersand secret equals the hex. The web form is the same thing as t.me/proxy, followed by the identical question mark and parameters. The SOCKS 5 link in app form reads tg:// SOCKS, then a question mark, then server equals the host, ampersand port equals the port, and then optionally ampersand user equals the username and ampersand pass equals the password if the proxy needs authentication. Its web form is t.me/SOCKS with the same parameters. Notice the only structural difference. mtproto uses the word proxy and the secret. SOCKS 5 uses the word SOCKS and the user and pass. Once you see that, every proxy link in the wild becomes readable. Now the secret, because it's the part that confuses people. The mtproto secret isn't random, it carries informations. A plain old secret is just 32 hex characters. But the modern facto secret, the one that disguises traffic as HTTPS, is longer and starts with specific bytes. You'll often see it begin with the characters that encode the factos mode, followed by the bytes of the domain being faked. That's why a facto secret is much longer than a basic one. When you read a long secret starting with what looks like EE and then more, that's a facto secret, the good kind for censored networks. A short one is the older, more easily blocked kind. So the length and prefix of the secret tell you what you're dealing with at a glance. Let's build a link by hand, because providers often give you the three values separately and expect you to assemble it. Or you want to turn your own VPS proxy into a shareable link. Say your server is at an IP, your port is 443, and your secret is that hex string. You write tg:// proxy, question mark, server equals, paste the IP, ampersand, port equals, 443, ampersand, secret equals, paste the secret. That's it, no spaces anywhere. If any value contains a special character, and most don't for mtproto, you'd URL encode it, but IP, port, and hex secret are all URL safe as is, so a normal mtproto link needs no encoding. For SOCKS 5, if your password contains symbols like an @ or a slash, those do need URL encoding, because they'd otherwise break the parsing. And that's the single most common reason a hand-built SOCKS 5 link fails to import. Now importing a link someone sent you. The easy path, if it's a tg:// link, just tap it on a device with Telegram installed, the app opens and offers an enabled proxy dialog. You tap connect, done. If it's a t.me link, tapping it should also open Telegram, but a browser sometimes grabs it first, in which case copy the link, paste it into your saved messages chat in Telegram, and tap it from inside the app so Telegram handles its own link. The reliable manual path, the one that always works when links won't open, is to enter the values by hand. Open Telegram, go to Settings, Data and Storage, Proxy, add proxy, pick mtproto or SOCKS 5 to match, and type in the server, port, and either the secret or the user and pass. This is the fallback when a link is mangled or when Telegram itself is down so a t.me link can't even load. Manual entry needs only the 3 or 4 raw values which you can read off a screenshot. That's worth emphasizing for censored networks. If Telegram is blocked for the person you're helping, A t.me link won't open because it tries to reach Telegram's web infrastructure, which is also blocked. Send them the raw values instead, or the tg:// version, or a screenshot of the 3 fields and have them enter it manually. The manual path doesn't depend on anything loading first, so it's the one that works in the worst conditions. There's also a QR options. Some proxy providers and tools generate a QR code that encodes the tg:// link. The person scans it with their camera and it opens the proxy dialog. Handy for getting a proxy onto a phone quickly without typing, and it works as long as the scanned link can hand off to the app. A QR is especially useful when you're sitting next to someone and don't want to send anything over the network at all. You show them the code on your screen, they scan it, and the proxy never travels through any chat or message that could be logged. For genuinely sensitive sharing, in-person QR is the quietest channel. And if you're sharing your own VPS proxy with a small group, the cleanest way is to generate the link once and store it somewhere you control. Then hand it out person by person rather than forwarding it. Forwarding a message carrying a proxy link inside Telegram is easy and fast, but it also means the link is now sitting in another chat history where it can be forwarded again beyond your circle. Copy and paste deliberately rather than forwarding, so you always know exactly who has it. Now the edge cases, and the important one is about sharing safely without burning the endpoint. A private proxy survives because few people use it. The moment you post the link in a public channel or a big group, dozens or hundreds of strangers pile on, and on a censored network, the regime's classifier notices the spike of connections to one endpoint and blocks the IP within hours. So share private proxies privately, person to person, or to a small trusted circle, never in public. If you need to serve a crowd, that's a different kind of infrastructure, not one shared private endpoint. Second edge case, the leaked link is a burned link. Once a proxy link is out of your control, treat the endpoint as compromised because you can't unshare it. For a self-hosted proxy, the response is to regenerate the secret or spin up a fresh box and reshare to your real circle. Don't keep using an endpoint whose link escaped. Third, URL encoding bytes SOX 5. As I said, if the password has special characters, encode them. An @ becomes %40, a colon becomes %3a, a slash becomes %2f. If your SOX 5 link won't import but the same credentials work in manual entry, an unencoded special character in the password is almost always the culprit. When in doubt, use manual entry and skip the encoding question entirely. Fourth, expiry and rotation. A proxy link doesn't expire on its own. It works until the endpoint dies or the credentials change. If your provider rotates credentials, the old link stops working and you need the new one. And if you ever rotate your own secret for security, every old link is instantly dead, so reshare. There is no expiry built into the link format itself. The link is just a pointer to credentials that may or may not still be valid. Fifth, verify before you trust a received link. After importing, check it actually connects. Look for the ping or the connected state and confirm in active sessions that your apparent IP changed to the proxies. A link that imports cleanly but shows no ping means the endpoint is dead or the secret is wrong. The link parsing succeeded but the proxy didn't answer. Sixth, a common confusion. The link shares the proxy, not your account. Importing someone's proxy link only routes your connection through their server. It never gives them access to your Telegram account or your messages, which stay encrypted between you and Telegram. The only thing the proxy operator can see is connection metadata, and a malicious mtproto operator can attach a sponsored channel to your account, which is the one thing to watch for. So importing a proxy from a stranger is a privacy trade, not an account security disaster. But prefer links from people you trust for exactly that sponsored channel reason. A quick honest note, a proxy link is just a convenient way to move connection credentials around. It gets a connection through a block. It doesn't change your device or your account behavior. And sharing a link with 10 people doesn't make those 10 accounts look like separate real users, it just routes them through the same exit. The link is plumbing, not identity. If you're past the point of hand-sharing proxy links, and you want accounts that simply live on clean, stable infrastructure without you managing endpoints and reshares, that's what we run. Manage Telegram hosting and proxy infrastructure on dedicated hardware in Singapore. Real carrier apps and maintained endpoints, so there's no link to burn and no box to rotate at 2 in the morning. Start at telegramvault.org and use code TGYT. For handing a friend a working proxy though, the formats here are everything you need. To recap, mtproto links use the word proxy and the secret, SOCKS5 links use the word SOCKS and the user and pass, both in a tg:// form that opens the app and the t.me web form. Build one by assembling server, port, and the secret or credentials with no spaces, URL encoding special characters in a SOCKS5 password. Tap the TG link to import or enter the raw values manually, which is the path that works even when Telegram is blocked. And share private proxies privately, because a leaked link is a burned endpoint. The one habit to carry away: learn to read the link instead of fearing it. A proxy link is just server, port, and either a secret or a user and pass, wrapped in a tg:// or t.me address. Once you can see those parts, you can fix a broken link, build one from raw values, fall back to manual entry when the auto link won't fire, and judge from the secret's length whether it's the strong factors kind. That small literacy is the difference between being stuck with a wall of text and getting yourself or a friend connected in under a minute. That closes out this setup series. If it helped, subscribe and go back through the earlier videos for the full VPS proxy build and the per platform connection guides. Thanks for watching.